What are you smoking?
Mapacho. Mapacho is a sacred tobacco.
Is it tobacco?
Yeah, so tobacco from Peru.
What are the virtues? What are the...
It's a tobacco that cleans. It's like incense, basically, but it creates a vortex, a door to communicate with the ancestors.
Okay.
So let's suppose I want to bless them. I'm going to take some of that. I'm going to hold it on my heart. I'm going to throw it on the ground, and then I will, of course, pray for them, and then I will.
Do you actually swallow it,
no.
or no?
The only time you can is if you're sick. And this is really horrible if you swallow.
And there is no filter. It's
no,
not like
if you swallow it, it's going to really make you cough immediately. But when you're sick, I've done it once. It actually you're supposed to really take it in, and then and it clears up.
What culture is it from? Is it from a specific?
South America.
South America.
Peru.
Like from the tribes, from ancient tribes?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. This is sacred tobacco for, so you do ceremony, mapacho ceremony with that, or you clean up. So it's also used like in plant medicine if people are struggling a little. If there's a lot of things that come at the surface, then the shaman comes and blows some mapacho.
And can I ask you why you're smoking some right now?
It's because I want to bless this moment we're going to spend together.
Okay.
So that I have good inspiration, that it kind of comes also, because I come from the beginning of my day, which made of stuff to do.
Okay.
And now I want to just settle down in that lovely conversation.
To set a good vibe.
To create a clean space, basically.
Okay, some sort of protective energy.
And I do it outside because I did not ask you first if you were sensitive to smoke.
I smoke tobacco at night only.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I have to stop though because it's only making some big companies rich and not me. So for me,
I can give you some, but you don't. It's kind of, I mean, if you're doing indoors, so.
I wanted you to show me your if you want to stay outside, I wanted you to show me your little garden there because I see interesting things.
Oh yes.
So just to tell the viewers, we are in your house in Los Angeles, and you've been a resident of Los Angeles for how long?
2000.
Okay.
2000, so
25 years?
Yeah. I was in San Francisco before.
Okay. I met you through your husband.
Mm.
You're both French, and we're all French speakers, but we're going to do this in English because we've been speaking English for a longer time now.
Way too long, yeah. I speak much more English than French.
And especially on these topics, I guess. So you've been spending 25 years in Los Angeles. What do you do here?
I am an artist.
Mm-hmm.
I paint. I do printmaking as well. Monoprints. It's not done here. It's done in a studio.
Okay.
I'm a healer also. So I Reiki master. I initiate people. I do healing for people. My specific the way I describe my work as a healer is Reiki. For those who know what it is, just really running some very pure healing energy. It's your energy that already comes out of your hand naturally. Like if you're hurt, you're going to put your hand in there. If somebody is in sorrow, you're going to reach out with the hand. So it just comes out stronger. And it's connected also. It's just really your channels are more open, so you're also connected to the intelligence with a capital I.
How did you discover this way of healing?
Well, I actually, I was actually in Paris, living in Paris at the time, and I was going through some health issue of my own, and then I had to really find a way, not with doctors. I had to find my own way to get better and to get settled. I had addiction to heroin. And
for how long?
For not too long, but very, at the time, it's like the beginning of being an adult. So that period was maybe about 2-3 years, like
how
dwindling.
Old were you?
Around, I think it started around 19. So 19 to 22, and then I moved to New York, and then I'm the only person on the planet that goes to New York to quit drugs, basically. So the point was to actually be in a place where I know no one.
Yeah.
So you don't have any connection.
So you just left Paris. You
Yes.
had your family roots in France, in Paris.
Yeah.
And you had like family issues that led you to use this drug that's very strong.
Yes, my mom was I like to talk to her nicely. I used to just blast how much of an alcoholic she was, but now I have changed, evolved in my relationship with her so much that I never want her to be hurt again by hearing me saying that. But let's put it this way. She had major emotional trauma to the fact also that my father had polio when they were engaged, and he released, and he said, no, you can't marry me. I said, no, I will marry you anyway. But something really broke in her, and then she was introduced to alcohol, and nobody ever told her to stop. So as I worked on rehab centers, I felt a lot of compassion for my mom and understood better more why it didn't even occur to her to stop one day in her life. So she died, never been sober at all, ever, no, not a day. Maybe the day of the surgery, like stomach surgery, and then the next day she'll drink again.
So your your childhood was you noticed it every day. It was there.
Yeah, and she was unfortunately had a lot of obviously some nervous system issues and mental health. So she was a really brilliant, beautiful woman who was terrifying in her anger and
she had violence.
Yeah.
Okay, so you grew up in that. You have a father.
Yeah, and my father had polio, so he was kind of like almost half a bit of a shadow of himself. And he didn't have, he was so grateful that my mother stayed with him. She put him back to life. And all of his friends, he was 12 years older, so her friend was his friend, and all of his friends saw that too. So I think at the beginning it was, she's been so wonderful, we're gonna let her be crazy. But then decades pass. And then at one point you have to help the people having a better quality of life. And nobody showed up, not her family, so only me, the youngest one, and my sister. We tried what we could, and it never worked.
But first you just wanted to flee, and so you decided.
And so
after
when
high
I was
school,
little, it was like, there's a world out there. I'm gonna go.
What years what period was it?
When I was dreaming about that?
Well, the year you left to New York, for example.
Oh, I went there first time 18, and then I came back, and then I moved back for what I thought was going to be forever when I was 19, 19, something like that.
Okay.
Not great with.
So
with
you
numbers,
weren't really studying in France. You just decided to leave the.
No, actually.
Free adventure.
Well, no, because actually no, I get my dates wrong because I did the Art Déco. Les Arts Décoratifs, l'École Nationale des Arts Décoratifs.
Okay.
So it's kind of the equivalent, a bit modern version of the Beaux-Arts in Paris.
Yes.
And I did, I studied there. But I did insist on dropping off from high school. So I started by my college, art college, really early.
Okay.
So
you
my
studied
New York
art in
years were
France.
more actually around, oh God, this is
80s?
where my brain
No.
gets trapped. Yeah, I have a bit of a deficiency with people's name and dates and you know.
Yeah, I don't have this problem as being very obsessed with dates and numbers.
Oh, really? So we're with polarity.
So tell me, and then I'll remember for you. All right, I want to say 80s, but it's just random.
Oh, absolutely,
guess.
absolutely. I moved to New York the year where I went visit there the first time when John Lennon got killed.
Oh, interesting, this connection.
So
okay.
that's how I can tell history and time.
That
Now
was,
you go Google to see what.
I think that was 1980. I have a good connection with
79
John
or
Lennon.
80. Yeah, because my kids were born
Yeah.
in 82. At least I know
okay.
their birth date.
Okay, so all of them. I mean, how many kids do you have?
This is twins, because
Twin
you
brothers or twin sisters?
twin
or?
brothers,
Okay.
identical twins. So
Okay.
I found out that I was I had no plan of being pregnant, but I just got married 2 weeks before, and when I got pregnant, it was like, I don't make my decisions anymore. You know, the feminine heritage kicked in. It was like, no, women can do what they want till they're married, basically, you know. And I asked him, and he was over the phone, like I just got out of the doctor, and says, "Nah, I'll never kill something I made with you." He was a writer, so it was a very beautiful, beautiful sentence. It turns out that he didn't, so I went along.
So that was
and found out at 7 months of pregnancy that I was with twins.
Wow.
So I cried for a week.
That you had with an American writer in New York.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I went back to France at 7 months because I'd lost my job. I didn't have paperwork. I lost my job because I couldn't wait tables that way. And anyway, I went back to France.
7 months pregnant?
Yeah.
You were able to fly?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then your sons were born in France then?
In France, the south of France, yes.
The south of France in 1982?
Yeah.
That's my...
Because I landed at my parents who retired in south of France. So it was great. But then their father, my then husband, left after 2 months.
Okay.
So he didn't want to kill anything, but he's willing to abandon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Well,
I'm 23 at that time. I have no job. I'm back into a country I thought I left. And then
so you're back to America, but you...
No. I was back in France.
Back in France.
I mean, I'm stuck in France now.
Okay.
I have twins.
And
don't have a husband. Not that he was working anyway.
Is this when you started the healing process, or you started it before?
I started it before. I started it before. So I must have started in my 17. Yeah. 19. Something like that. Because
so to go back to this moment where you had your addiction before having your twins, you started trying different things to heal from that.
Yeah.
And so what did you try? What did you find?
Well,
did you find
that? Then I should I tell the story of how I had the
Yes, you should.
So I was at the time I had stopped, but then went right back in Paris a couple of 3 years later, and then my friends, just the first thing they give you is just like, hey, like some people bring a bottle of wine, you know, and then they just brought a little something to sniff. And so I was like, it's gonna be nothing. No, it takes about it took me 2 times to do it. Like one day and then the next day. And the third day I was already starting to feel withdrawal coming. It's like the brain, the body just remembers immediately. And that was a terrible idea, but maybe not, because I had stopped, but I hadn't healed. So that brought me to take matters into my own hands. And I started to say, I want be okay, happy, to feel normal, if you will. And so I went to Amsterdam. The doctor was giving methadone treatment. I brought it back, used it. It was wonderful because it just puts you back to square one. Like, you're not high and there's no side effect. You don't feel sick, and so just be you now, right? So I took my so what happened actually? I was going to the dealer, but because I was already always a little bit achy and all that, I was very lazy, and I wouldn't walk distance. I would really, even in France, it's a lot of staircase, and it was like, oh my God, if it's more than 2 flights, it's bad. And I would just take the bus or the cab anywhere. And I lived at the bottom of Montmartre, so it's a mountain like this.
Yes.
And Pigalle is on the other side, right? So I go to so we're in that area. Now I go to this guy. He wasn't there, and instead it was this cousin, this African cousin, and we start to chat, waiting for the guy to come back, and he asking what he's doing in life, and he says, I read palms on the hand. So I was like, oh, do you want to read my hands? And he looked at it and he said, you've been cursed since you're 18, but I can do an exorcism. And I like, okay. 18 was the time where I started to take drugs.
Ah.
So that was a coincidence maybe, but it meant something for me because he couldn't.
So just to be clear, the guy said you've been cursed since you're 18.
Yeah.
But he didn't see.
No, that's all he said
curse,
actually. And I grabbed that and I was like, oh wow.
And just when you're saying that, there is this black cat that just showed up. Is it part of the magic?
Yes, that's my helper. Okay. And so he said some stupid stuff like, we can slaughter a pig. Like, no, we don't do this in Paris. No, or you can put a watch at the mosque. I'm like, okay, if just you want to watch, just tell me you want to watch, But so I thought this was ridiculous. But I was so in my head about that I just didn't want to wait for his cousin to come back. Went home without drugs at all, and then I got in the metro, and I never do this, but I went into first class with a second class ticket, and I thought, wow, this was just 2 stops. That would really be the day where the conductor, the controller, comes and check. The next station, boom, he was there. I got a ticket, and to me, it was the life telling me, pay attention to what's going on inside of you. And so I called an older friend of mine who was into Kabbalah, and she was reading tarot. So Hélène Kibaro, she's also a performer and a singer. And I asked her, like, Hélène, what do you know about exorcism? Because is that just really just a Hollywood thing? And she's like, no, it's for real. It's actually, a priest who does it out of his home. It's in Montmartre, and she gave me the address, and I went there.
Because what did you want to exercise I'm not sure.
Well, the guy said, you've been cursed. So clear up that curse. And when I could talk to the priest on the phone, he said, why do you feel like you need an exorcism? And I said, well, because I have issue with drugs. And in all fairness, the drugs is exactly like what would say the way Satan is described. It's like it just pretends to be your friend, and then it takes over, and your soul does not belong to you anymore.
Yeah.
So I went to this priest. Very small, tiny, little, dark apartment, and he just took some. He wasn't even dressed. He was dressed normally, and then he just took a little bit of holy water and he did something.
What kind of priest was it?
Catholic.
Catholic priest. Yeah. Okay, in Montmartre.
Yeah. And so he did this, and then nothing happened. The sky didn't, angels didn't fall from the sky and sweep me up my feet and just embraced me and make me feel whole again.
Surprising.
It was like nothing happened, really.
Yeah.
So I left his place, and I started to think about that. Like, I guess I had expectation. I think I'm disappointed. Oh my God, then what I do now?
I expected some miracle, and it's not happening.
Exactly. And so, till I had this long conversation with myself, and then I realized that I have gone up the stairs of Montmartre and all the way down, all by myself, by foot, no taxi, nothing. For the first time, I felt in my body that, I have an energy that returned, that wasn't there.
So something actually happened.
I bowed to that, and then I talked to my friend again, and she invited me to some circumambulation, so some Kabbalistic group prayers around the table with some light, etc., etc. And so we were doing this, and from that I got my first foot into esotericism and spirituality.
Okay.
And also into community, into not being on your own doing something. But the gathering, we were like 5 girls, we would be a little group. Mm-hmm. And we were just like that support, I pray for you, you pray for me. So it was.
And you came from a theist background, or did you have some beliefs before?
I was brought up Protestant.
Okay.
Not very practicing. Not really having had any Sunday education. The couple of times I went, I didn't understand the stories they were talking about. Only thing is that I used to go there for religious, holidays, and I would just love the singing part.
Oh yeah.
So that really was wonderful.
Who sort of raised you into Protestantism? Your mother?
Well, both my parents were, so it was just more social than spiritual. My mom had some very weird ideas. I knew more about how much she doesn't like Catholic than what she loves about Protestantism.
Yeah.
I haven't heard her speaking much about Jesus.
Yeah.
But then I heard a lot about Mary. You can't call her Immaculate Conception. Of course not. And Joseph, just dirty old man, it's like all putting everything like the saints and all of that, just putting down Catholicism. Mm-hmm. And when it came time to do my communion, I was the youngest one, so I saw it done with my brother and my sister. You have a party. Well, you have a party, you have gifts, you have a new bicycle or a bracelet, or a gold bracelet or something. And cause for celebration. And I told my mom, I don't want to do it because, truth be told, I don't understand what it is. And it's not that I'm not interested, but today it doesn't mean anything to me to do
You
this.
didn't want to do it out of obligation, out of tradition.
And I must say that that was a very brave, it must have been my soul that spoke that day, because that's not usually the kind of thing I would have felt free to say. I would not have been able to say, oh, you want to do a party? No, I would like not. Oh no, I don't want to do my communion. Because I was like 12.
Yeah.
So I said to her in French, j'ai dit, mais peut-être que un jour je vous dépasserai tous. Which meant to me, one day I will have gone further than you, basically. Mm-hmm. And I was thinking my entire family and how religious they were. But that wasn't very difficult because they weren't really religious. So by that I meant I'm going to study. I'm going to be interested. I'm going to know what it is about.
And so you started with these circles with other women in Paris, doing some Kabbalah readings or
learning
what was it?
Tarot, the symbolism of tarot cards and things like that.
Was it New Age? Was it inspired by some New Age movement at the time?
It was. Oh, honey, I am so old. I wish I'd been 20 something in the New Age. No. That was way before.
Okay.
But it wasn't in the air. Not in my circles. Not in Paris. It was something. I didn't even know if an exorcism was a real thing. So after that, I went to a bookstore, with esoteric bookstore, and I just picked a book, and it was the book the teaching of Hermès Trismégiste. Hermès Trismégiste. I don't know if you know who he is.
No, can you say again the name? Ernest?
Hermès.
Hermès.
The word hermetic comes from his name. Hermès Trismégiste. And he is actually under this name. It's one iteration of Thoth, the Egyptian god Thoth, the one who invented writing, and he wrote. Sorry for my English. He wrote something called the Emerald Tablets.
Okay.
And I didn't understand much at all. I was just reading. I was just sucking the energy of the words, the book, but consciously I didn't know what I was reading, honestly.
And at the same time,
it was like my meditation and then I started to wanted to pause throughout the day. And in France, we're very, very lucky because we have beautiful churches and cathedrals, temples who are open to the public all day, basically.
Yeah.
And I would just sit down in one of those churches, and then that's how I learned to listen to myself, to meditate.
And in the meantime, you stopped. You were still becoming sober. You were.
Oh
becoming sober.
Yeah. I got sober from one day to another. What was happening was that it was a switch. I had found what I was looking for. Drugs were close to that, because to me, we talk now a lot about ayahuasca, mushroom psychedelics, plant medicine, but truth be told, that anything you take, even food, is a form of medicine. So at the time, my mother, alcohol was her medicine. And at the time, it was my medicine, because it did really, my state of mind when I was teenager was, and that's why I became atheist. I say I'm just throwing away everything that I know of life, because that's not interesting to me. I just want to see if there's another way to live life. And it was art and partying, sex, drug, and rock and roll, as in my Akashic records. It says that literally, Somebody read my, this is on your record. It says you had to go through a phase of sex, drugs, and rock and roll. So and I even produced 2 records. It was really that.
Well, did you sing, or did you play some instruments?
No. I was producing.
Okay.
I was not.
So you were involved into music too.
Yeah, my first husband was a lead singer. He had a whole album, so I created the deal with the French company Celluloid Record, and that's how I did my first. And then after that, I did it with another partner. But I was not supposed to succeed that way.
Okay.
No. If I had succeeded that way, I would never painted.
Yeah.
I've painted.
You started
And
painting
I've probably
after?
been in a very, very tough, very male-oriented business.
Well, I think one of your sons is in the music
and now
industry.
one of my sons is an artist, also music.
Yeah.
So they're moving.
I think you've discovered maybe a bit later this movement that your husband lends me the book, and the guy is Father Antoine, and he speaks about how faith is the real way to heal. I mean, for him, the only way to heal. It seems like it echoes your life, that faith sort of took you out of drug addiction.
It's not funny because for me, Antoinism, so the way it was brought up to me, I had already found out in Paris some Japanese healing center. It's very weird. And I really liked it. And so this was before Reiki. That was before Reiki. Okay. That was not Reiki, it's called Mahikari and Jore. And at the same time, so through the same friend, I was sick with the boys. We're all sick. And she says, you know, there's this place. It's not too far. You should go. It's a temple. And I've been there a few times. And I must say that I really feel like it makes a difference. The energy is really beautiful there. You should go. So I went there, took the kids on the bus, and we arrived. We were really tired and cranky. And then we enter the space. It says on the door, whoever suffers can enter here and get some help for free, gratuitement. And so you go inside, and there's a temple. You can sit down with benches, very Protestant looking, very bare.
But not a church.
They call it a temple.
They call it a temple.
And an entrance, somebody greets you, and then there's little doors, a little room, where another person will greet you, and there's the picture of the Father, and it says, whoever makes anyone pay for their prayers is out of the law of God. So they're very clear that there's money. He even said money is dangerous. If you really want to give a donation, you have to ask, where is the slot? And they're very careful because they say money carries so much expectation. So then it's not a fair exchange.
So that was more
That's not what the Father is Antoine is about. It's not exchange.
So when you said there's a picture of the Father, you mean Père Antoine?
Père Antoine, Père Antoine, the Father Antoine.
And so this view of money is more Catholic maybe than Protestant, actually.
Yes. So that's why there is a bit of, it's Catholic meeting Protestant. It felt a bit more free, honestly, because I've hang out in the Greek Orthodox church as well. And there's really a very distinct feel to all of them. And this one was so bare, it was like no distraction, no little angels, no story. You're not going to look at the blank wall and create a story in your head about, it's like really go within. And so you go into this room and then you pray. The person asks you, what do you need praying for? And so my kids are sick and I'm sick, and I'm like, okay, we pray for your health. And then the person goes and into silence within and prays, and then she'll say, or he'll say, the prayer has passed, or you could feel like the energy of the prayer has just reached, the light, and then you go. My kids and me, it could have been placebo, but my kids, they were the real test. They were clear, they were gone, they left their place, they were super happy to talk with her, and then we're all fine. And I also had the thought of my grand aunt, who looked just like the mother, and I felt like, is that my ancestors pushing me here? Because she also was a Protestant nun.
Protestant nun, okay.
Yeah. And very soon, the director of that temple asked me if I wanted to be a participant, like if I want what they call costumed. So it means to be a sister, a brother, a sister, so the person that would either greet you or pray for you. And I was like, wow. And she says, yeah, I can feel that you have the energy of the Father. And then something like absolutely beautiful. So I get like goosebumps just thinking about it, because it was very moving. It was, the conversation was just like that. She says, yes, I think you have the fluid, the energy of the Father with you. And she says, so all you have to do is you're gonna buy the costume. They didn't provide it. You buy it. You see, this is specific tailor who were making for them. That's the only thing, you know. I had to buy that, but it was expensive. And then she says, you can come. You can give any amount of time you want.
Did they ask you money
too? No, you can stop whenever you want. No, it's no need to explain.
Basically, it's not a cult.
No. And then she says, the only thing we ask of you is to be authentic. And that's the way I love my spirituality. Mm-hmm. Simple and to the point. So in this temple, there is just a part that has a big a couple of sentences written, and one part of the sentence is, and the true love is the one that you have for your enemy, because it is pure and from the truth. And I saw that.
Very Christic, very, yeah.
And I thought, wow, that's a great direction. I probably
because your
won't
enemy,
make it happen in this life.
Who was your enemy at the time? Your mom.
She was the cause, the root of all my problems.
Yeah.
Like Freud will probably teach anyone who wants to. Yeah. And so I learned with Antoinism, I learned to be a healer because I learned to pray for others. I learned what it is to pray for others. You can't just pray by saying words. You have to learn. It's a transmutation. You have to, and that's what I call now. I think scientifically, it's called limbic resonance. So when you have your sensory system is able to be connecting to somebody else's, like sharing a computer, basically. But in order for me to be able to feel the other person, I have to stop feeling me. So me, my persona, my ego, my thought, out of the room. If it's not me who's doing this, it's my essence and my state of solidarity with another person. You suffer, you want help, let me be the
like a sponge.
Like an interceptor, like a transmitter. I'm just gonna carry out your needs to the light. Because why is it easier when somebody prays for you? Because you are not attached to the memory, to the story that caused the pain of the person. So it's like you can be above, you can raise above, you can transcend the fear.
Yeah.
And sometimes the person is not able to do this. So you need somebody to lift you up, carry by the hand, on just a little above where you vibrate, and then you can find some solace. Now the job of the person, and the Father says it, is this: you can have a beautiful prayer, receive the prayer, and then just get out, go on the streets, and kill it by going back to worrying. So the responsibility
of the receiver
is to receive this and nurture it and keep it alive.
Yeah.
And stay out of
it's
the
active
doubt.
Faith.
It's absolutely is.
So you, except for this Father that you mentioned, what is your faith for? Like, do you believe in? Is it something? Is it connected to a God? To what?
My faith.
Yeah.
So, do you mind if we tilt a little like that, because I don't want us to have.
Sure, move. I'll follow you. I'll follow you.
A little shadow on the face.
I like the sun on your face, but
I'll just follow
you.
and I feel like as a sunburn's going to happen if we continue.
Where do you want to go?
No, this is perfect.
Okay.
Just like this. Perfect. It's perfect. So, what's my faith? What do I have faith in?
Beyond the Father.
The Antoinism, for example. Why is this so beautiful to me? Because he says that they are the words of the Christ revisited to modern time.
Mm-hmm.
And all of his teaching, or like Hermès Trismégiste, or like the prophet of Khalil Gibran, is the conversation. You ask a question. Krishnamurti does the same. Most of teachers do that, actually. You ask a question, and then the teacher answers. So the Père Antoine doesn't tell you what to do. Mm-hmm. His main book is about every time a person asks a question about their concern as human being, really, what do we do when da 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 da, and then the Father Antoine answers. So the answers are a kind of more practical, basically, than it's easily applicable immediately. You don't really have to translate too much into the wordings and the metaphors, and it's much more direct. And every time also you will read it, or different time of your life, or you read the same paragraph and you hear something a bit more profound. Mm-hmm. Okay, so basically he was a spiritist, and he didn't know how to read and write. Mm-hmm. He worked in the mines in
he was a miner. Yeah.
And he became a spiritist, with Allan Kardec. That was the movement of spiritism. So they were
which means talking to the dead,
invoking. Yes, and doing circles where you were invoke the spirits of a deceased doctor, for instance, and ask for advice for this and that. And then he was also magnetizer, so he would come and help people with hands-on,
It's more esoteric than the traditional Christian faith.
Right. And then his son died at 20. When the son was 25, he really went within, dissociate from everything, and when he emerged out of that, he said, "We don't need to call the spirits. God is in us. God is in us." And I had personally experienced it decades later, when I was doing a healing on someone. I was doing I was showing hand placement, but to two people who I just initiated to Reiki. And one of the women, she's like a very, very, very tough face, very gray, very marked, pain, a lot of pain in her face. And this other guy who had obviously a Catholic background. So every time I would draw the sign in her core, the sacred symbol with my hand, she would speak in tongues. And you know what that means. It's like you speaking like you do gibberish. C'est du
yaourt in
yeah,
French.
mais c'est en général in churches, they do that, like when spirits come through and talk and says nonsense. So I said, she did it twice. I addressed it, and she said, I don't know what it is. I went to see. It happened when I go to church or a temple, and nobody knows that if it's a dead language. I haven't found any information on it. So I'm like, oh, she's not worried. Okay, I'll not be worried, and I continue. And I do the fourth one, the third, and the fourth, and then I ask her to lay on the table. I'm not even running Reiki. I am just I'm approaching my hand to show, and the person, that woman goes off, exorcist on me. The eyes go like this. The growling becomes really louder. She's kind of squirming.
Because you were touching her?
Not even. I was just going to.
Okay.
But I guess that the energy that was already coming out of my hand was already, my presence was already too strong. And it made it
and
revealed.
that was intentional? You wanted to heal her?
Absolutely not. I just wanted to show them, okay, so now you're going to put your hands over here and you're going to put it this way, and then this is the lever, so you're going to do this way. That's all. It was just very simple. And suddenly this happened. This is the second time I was doing an initiation. I have no reference in my brain for that. I don't know. It definitely wasn't part of my teaching, my learning.
Yeah.
And you were so in the moment. You're so in the moment that it is even impossible for me to think, to go in my head and trying to. The guy immediately started to go to the feet, touch her feet, and then say, "Our Father," is in a loop, Notre Père. And I thought, that's great. And now, how about me? The only thing I knew to do, the only thing I knew is that it was on my watch. So this is me. This is also for me. It's not just her. We're in it together, 100%. And it was like a determination to of course we're going to do something.
Yeah.
Of course. I have no clue what. And all I do, the only thing I know to do is to focus. So I focus. Now I'm running Reiki. And I focus so much. I hear myself saying in exact that tone of voice, "I'm God and I'm telling you to go." Bing! Switched off. Immediately, as I said that sentence, it wasn't a conscious sentence. It wasn't my conscious self-talking at all.
Yeah.
It wasn't grandiloquent like you see in the movie, like, "I'm God and I tell you to go." No, very simple. "I'm God and I'm telling you to go." Boom! The face of the woman was instantly transformed. We told her, "Go see yourself in the mirror." She carried that thing for probably all her life.
So something inside of her just went. Something went.
It was definitely a demon that was called. That was exorcised.
Okay.
So
I mean, that's kind of like what Jesus did.
And Jesus said, "Whatever I do, you will do it, and better."
So that's a big reference for you, Jesus.
Yes, and not you see, it's not a reference that has been imposed on me. It wasn't conditioned. To be, not at all. And that is exactly the path of my life. Everything that I know to do well, I had no conditioning for. Even in the art form that is mine now, which is the oil painting, it is the only medium that I didn't touch in school. I did photography, illustration, drawing, everything. I said, no, I'm too sloppy. Whatever that meant. That was a stupid argument because we were used to, I just didn't know how to say no. And now I know it is the only medium that had been, that no teacher introduced to me.
So
I taught myself. I had never babysitted children. I had 2 because I'm very lucky. I'm very abundant. And I had to raise them on my own at 23. I had to learn.
Yeah.
Healing is the same way. It's just like I learn as I'm going through life. So when I starting to, I wanted to learn about Buddhism, I actually took on to be a student for a couple of years with the Lama Kimsar Rinpoche, and he's a lineage Lama from Tibet, and it was great. I learned to meditate. I've learned a lot of things.
Yeah, and now it seems that now you're able to mix everything. Like I can see that you have some Hinduism, some Buddhism, some. You mentioned Krishnamurti, which I don't know. There is no religion to him, but he's still he's a reference in all these circles as well. you mentioned Jesus, you mentioned Antoinism. So now you're like a melting pot of all.
And let's not forget the feminine part of God.
Mm-hmm.
The Egyptians. I'm obsessed with Nefertiti and her husband Akhenaton, who said to the Egyptian people who were so divided by millions of different beliefs, they all had their gods, and he said, well, stop that nonsense immediately. I'm going to tell you what God is your God. Point at the sun, and you say Ra. So yeah, I'm a Ra girl as well. You know, I get up in the morning and then I go and say, send me the codes. You know, send me the codes. Well, this is the prana. He was right.
It's interesting because the little channel I have, this video is gonna go on a channel called Citizen of the Sun. It's the name.
That's so what we are. That's what we are. Yeah. Life is very simple. So go back to the basics of Antoinism. It's God is in you. It's the same. Do you know Ho'oponopono? Are you familiar?
I know a bit. I don't practice it, but it's some sort of. Just say a few words about it.
It's brilliant because all of this, as you experience enough different things, it's all of that kind of clink it together. It's like, no, those theories or those movements, they were not against each other. It's not this or that. It's just like, what is the common thing? So Ho'oponopono is Hawaiian. It translates into something like to rectify, to make right, to make right. And the concept is that you and I, ultimately, we are the light. And when you strip all the personality and all the conscious and the subconscious, you're left with the energy of God, the divine energy. So the divine energy has created this game of this game basically of I'm God, and I'm going to split myself in billions of little specks, and then I'm going to just blow amnesia, and you won't remember, I won't remember what happened. And the game is like, can my parts find the way back to the origin, point of origin. Point of origin is the light. The point of origin, like if you really, the base of like Krishnamurti before he died, he was a little grumpy, but someone said, so when you pass away, what are you going to be? And he said, I told you already, well, I'll be food for worm, and then I'll be not existing. And it's the return to the oneness. So we are oneness, but we experience separation here. How do we manage? How blossom? How do we evolve? What do we want to do with that gift of life? Do you want to amass things and just like become a person who's for whom matter is absolutely essential? Or do you
big car and a big house?
Or you can have the opposite. Then
what is the opposite
in between is the people who were craving or looking for enlightenment.
Just the light.
But this is very rare, so there are so many degrees. But
then you live in Los Angeles, where the matter is what matters the most, because this is where there is the highest wealth, the biggest cars. Just a single house is 3 million. So
the most effort put into looking good. Yes.
But do you feel like you were meant to live here? Do you feel good here?
Yes. For some reason, now that I have done quite a bunch of plant medicine, it makes a lot of sense. I really believe that I've had previous lives as an Aztec, and the funny thing is that I did meet this spirit one day with a mapacho, actually, with a sacred tobacco, and he told me his name. He said, "My name is Tito," and that's the name my kids would give me when before they could speak and call me Mama. They call me Tito.
Tito.
Yeah. They would just see me
What
getting
does
into
it
the
mean?
room when I'm getting up in the morning. I was like, Tito, Tito. So
what does it mean?
That was the name because they were twins, so they had a bit of a language. They were making up their own language.
Okay.
And that was the name they gave me.
Okay.
So it was very interesting. I
Yeah.
think it's kind of woven together.
Well, Krishnamurti lived here in California.
Yes.
He came in Hollywood many
Yes.
times, I think,
Yes.
and there is a lot of Jesus energy is very strong here.
Yes.
If we judge by the fever, the Jesus believers here are numerous, whether they're from South America, whether they're from
Right.
this country. In the end, there is a church at every corner here. So, how do you explain? Is California a specific place regarding faith?
What I feel about LA for me is this place of self-expression that I didn't find in France. You know, France is much more. It's all very cultural, so very conditioned. You know, you can't really be a painter and paint whatever you want. People have to be able to put you in this corner or that. Who are you? What do you know? What is that? So. Here, it was, for me, it was a space of self-expression. Like, I can feel like anybody, if you say a person, oh, I just weave twigs together. Oh, you're an artist. Oh, beautiful. So it's celebrated.
Yes.
It's invited and it's respected. But the freedom of expression is that. So I think it's the same thing in spirituality.
Yes.
In here. A lot of people have this openness. You have people here, I mean the shaman, for instance, my friend who's a shaman, who leads often some plant medicine journey. He's Colombian. He is a Christian by nature, and he's a Buddhist, and he's also an ayahuasquero.
Wow. So yeah, in California, people are like mixing everything.
Yes.
They are able to make all religions sort of come together.
Yes, I think that's one
and
of
maybe
the...
that helps dealing with the material world here because
Yes.
you still have to make a lot of money to make it here.
Because there are people are opening. I saw it when I got here. There was the time where I was laughing a little. That's when I was working, studying with a Rinpoche, and he would call it, the microwave spirituality of LA. So yeah, he was a bit critical, but everybody was. I was doing jewelry, so everybody was wanting to wear a Buddha.
I can see your beautiful necklace.
A Buddha or a Kuan Yin, and everybody had to have that on them, you know. And I was like, we'll see. There's a little bit of an aftertaste of fashion, a little bit like you know, it's just a fad a bit, you know.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be
but
boring.
At the same time, this is when yoga started, and it's not a bad thing, and meditation center, so it's not a bad thing. It was a little bit, the Rinpoche was like, oh my God, they call the restaurant the Buddha something. Oh my God, am I going to see underwear with Buddhas? You know, he felt it was very offensive. But there's a sort of freshness, like, you know, Americans, we were talking about that the other day, a bit like adolescent kind of spirit. And also it's a melting pot, so it's very easy to find somebody who brings their influence. Like Jean-Marie and I, we definitely bring our influence that isn't a typical European influence, by the way.
Yes.
Because we're a little off norm in France.
Outside of the box.
Being into theosophical practices or culture, basically. This is not most of the people, God is outside. You always like, I'm with my client, for instance, you could hear the body language, and most of the time when they speak, yeah, well, the universe. Always they're like, oh yeah, God, the universe. And you're like, that would be nice the day a person say, oh, the universe.
Maybe the last question, because we don't want to be too long, and it's an hour already. But there is another religion here, which is science, technology. How do you think this goes together, spirituality and this sort of addiction to technology that comes from here too? The phones, the AI. It goes together?
I personally, if I have to choose between a yes and a no, I will go for the no. But it's a broad question. Is it using technology to be able to to get people together or convey an information? What information, So sometimes it can help.
Yeah.
But I am extremely concerned that there are people right now that are actually grabbing AI and giving AI the role of spiritual leaders, of even telling them their future, or and they're not stupid people. They're just, I think, a little too connected to technology, and they don't want to not have that. They don't, but there's no shortcut. AI is an amazing shortcut. I'm sorry, even for students, do the essay. It is a shortcut.
Yes. So we can be hopeful that
and there's no shortcut with the inner work.
Yeah. But if in the same place there is such a big spirituality, energy and technology, maybe we can be hopeful that one is leading the other. Then spiritual people know how to make technology serve.
The way I would see it would be that you have like a big array, and on one end is this, and on the other end is that, and it's like an arch, and it got some sense influence on both sides, and then it's about equal, like everybody has the right to choose whether they're going to walk on the path that's closer to that and get the influence, or they feel more comfortable it being over there, pretty much. Or some people but that's when the confusion, like when you hop on both sides, like it's becoming it's kind of like you kind of have to just simplify. And technology, if technology helps to simplify, great. If it makes it more complicated, then it's not a good thing. Because I mean,
it goes back to what we were talking in the beginning, like your drug addiction. Technology addiction can be sort of healed if we go back to healing ourselves and be responsible.
Are you going to give yourself the choice or the chance to channel your own directions? Or are you interested in that? Or is there a strong part of you that's sabotaging this and say, no, you can't anyway, this is just for special people? And no, I'm not a special person, but one day I said, I'm God and I tell you to go. So Ho'oponopono,
that's a good...
the basis of Ho'oponopono is to say you are the light, and every problem you encounter is a memory. So you are dragging memories. So our essence can choose. Our essence can be liberated from those memories, but you have to do it. You have to take responsibility. You say, this problem over there, that war over there, this man on death row over there is in my reality. I created that. Therefore, I am going to, because it's a regurgitation of a memory. So I'm going to go inward, I'm going to go deep, and I'm going to say that's part of me that holds those memories, to let it go. And by saying, I'm sorry that you have to go through this. I'm sorry that you have to suffer because you have an angry person in front of you. Mm-hmm. But it's here. You are that angry person. There's something in you that makes that anger possible in your space. And so you go, you say, I'm sorry, please forgive me. I love you. And the I love you is what cleans the memory. So it's back to the love, it's back to the Christ, it's back to loving yourself, it's back to being respectful of your neighbor.
The magic words.
Yeah. So
and can I just ask you, what age did you reach with all this philosophy and all these experiences?
What age?
Yeah. How old are you now?
What age am I now? 67.
67.
Yeah.
Well,
it's a big number.
Well, that means that there is so much more to say about everything you did, but I think... And now we're ending.
They are blowing the end of the conversation.
Yeah, exactly. They're like, now it's finished. Well, thank you so much, Alexandra, for sharing.
Thank you so much, Lauren. I'm very
much.
glad to be able to share this. Thank you so much for giving me that opportunity.
Good luck for the rest of the journey.
Good luck to you too.